You're the Green Bay Packers. I definitely think you want to win these games. You want to send a kind of message of how formidable you are. That's how I view them right now. It's not because they need it more than Indy in terms of record-wise. I'm just looking at the conference that they're in and the competition that they've got awaiting them.
Rob, I'll give it to you. I'll just say this one thing. Yep, the conference. What about the division they're in? You know, where are the Pittsburgh Steelers for Aaron Rodgers? I think Lamar needs it more.
Yeah, I'm going with the Ravens. I think they do need it more. This one's about confidence, and you can't lose back-to-back games. Losing to the Patriots, a game they should have won. Yeah, everyone's going to talk about the weather, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, when you lose back-to-back games and you're supposed to be the top in the division and things aren't looking right for you, then it's not going to look great down the road when they need these games. And talk about Tennessee. Last year, they knocked them off in the playoffs. They weren't supposed to lose to Tennessee then. And this is going to be a big game for them to try and see where they're at mentally.
I think the Ravens are a bigger story
no
than
question
Aaron
for
Rodgers.
Hey, is he
the Ravens
slipping? Is
might
he getting
not need
older?
It. Lamar might need it.
No, Aaron Rodgers is fine.
Oh, man, even I'm going down memory lane. I used to play against this guy. We are now joined by one of the greatest linebackers to ever do it, and I mean that. He was Defensive Rookie of the Year, 3-time Pro Bowler, a college football national champion at Miami, and a Super Bowl champion with the Saints. Please welcome NFL legend and current NFL on Fox analyst, Jonathan Hilma. What's up, Jay?
What's up, Nate, man? How you doing?
I'm good. Excited to have you on. Now, it's just over 10 years since you won that ring with the Saints. And when you think back on that game, what memory stands out the most? And is this the year that it comes full circle and the Saints recapture that Lombardi?
You know, the first thing I always think back is to how much fun I had with my teammates. That was first and foremost. And, you know, Nate, if you're not having fun, you know, why are you doing it, right? It's not a fun game when you're losing. And then, you know, the second thing was the competition. We competed so hard in practice, you know, that when we didn't know any other way in the games. And, you know, that was a testament to Sean Payton. It was a testament to Greg Williams, our defensive coordinator at the time, of how it was to really take practice and the intensity and take that to the game. So, you know, we had many battles in practice that panned out in the games. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And just thinking back about that season, I think of those great memories. And you always talk about the process, right? You don't think about just the wins. It was the practice and the guys and being in the locker room.
John, let's go to this year's season for the Saints. There's a Seminole on the team right now, a very important Seminole, and said Seminole ate a W a few years back before a game. When Jameis did the notorious W celebration, you posted on Instagram,
oh boy,
how in the hell do you expect to win with your quarterback looking like this before the game? That was, I don't know if we have it, but that was the actual Instagram comment. So let me ask you this. Do you still feel that way about this?
Wait, we have footage of the...
1,000%.
Yes. John, do you still feel this way? Go ahead.
Of course I feel this way. If I were number 51 right behind Jameis Winston and I saw that, I would take off my helmet, I would take off my shoulder pads, I would walk into the locker room and say, Coach, we're done. We're losing. There's no way we're going to win this game. I'm out.
We got no shot.
Yeah. So, yeah, 1,000% I still feel this way. Yes.
I don't disagree. I love everything you just said. That is, co-sign, subscribe, move on. Okay, let's talk. Great to have you on the show. Beautiful beach you're on, by the way. There's a lot of things that amaze me about the Saints. I'm sure you know that I'm a supporter of them, but one of the things that I want to wrap my head around is how after 14 years and some serious heartbreaks and things not going the right way, players still respond to Sean Payton in such a huge way. It's palpable. You see it every week on the field. He always gets the most out of his teams. 14 years in, what is it about your experience with him that tell me why he separates himself from other coaches?
Sean has always done a great job of threading the line of being a coach and being very personable, almost like a player. You know, you saw one of the highlights. I go and I'm pushing Sean after a play. We get off the field and we made a play, and that's because of the relationship that we had built and he had built with the defense. He's extremely competitive, a very fiery guy, but he knows how to toe the line of still commanding the respect of being a coach, yet getting the most out of the guys, because we're all competitors at heart. We're competitors by nature. So he knows how to kind of, poke the bear. He loves to poke the bear, and that's how you get players to respond. We're competitors. We want to be the best, and we want to be challenged. So when you have a coach that knows when it's time to challenge his players, then he knows when it's time to back off. He knows when to give the respect, and he knows how to be, again, a head coach and call the plays offensively. That's how you continue to have the respect that he has, and the players respond to him year in and year out.
Awesome. It's amazing that you had your generation of Saints. Now we have a whole other generation of Saints, and they all respond to Coach Payton. I just love you saying that Kendall Beckwith should have taken his pads off and walked into and told Dirk Cutter, I'm out. I can't play for that guy. No, I'm done. I'm out. Nah. Kendall Beckwith. Last week here in New York, the national game on Fox was you. Steelers-Bengals. Yeah. We heard your call, and it was great. They moved to 9-0. Some people have tried to take away from that start, saying, yeah, but who have they beaten? Look, they can only play the games they've played. What was your takeaway from seeing the Steelers up close?
Well, for the first part, to answer the question, who have they beaten? Baltimore Ravens, Tennessee Titans. Those are two pretty good teams. They beat them. They handled Cincinnati Bengals soundly at home when everyone thought Joe Burrow was going to come in and make some noise. What I saw from the Steelers is a very, very, I would say, savvy team. And what I mean by savvy is they have always been built on running the football, playing good defense. They have two of those components. They play good defense. They take the ball away. Taking the ball away, as Nate would know, that's the most important stat in football. And if you don't believe me, look at the New England Patriots the past 20 years. Who has the best takeaway turnover margin, and how many Super Bowls have they won? So aside from that, they do that, but they don't run the ball well. And what I mean by savvy, they don't run the ball well, but they found ways to use this dink and dunk offense. They use the fly sweeps. They're doing all these creative ways to basically assimilate some sort of run game. Now they have to correct it, and I know I mentioned it when I called the game, that they have to find a way to really pound the football, because 4-minute offense is key, especially against good opponents. But right now, they're as good as anybody. Style points, you may not like it, but they do what's most important: take the ball away, play good defense, and then they're finding ways to win.
You're spot on, man. Now, you had a long, accomplished NFL career, and it's filled with accolades over the 10 years. You last played 8 seasons ago, yet your Coral Gables High School and later Miami teammate Frank Gore is still going. Inexplicably, I don't know how he's doing it. So what's your earliest memory of Frank Gore on the field? And when did you guys realize, can you imagine these two, and I'm pretty sure a long list of other guys on the squad together in high school, that you guys knew you were destined for the league?
Wow, I'll never forget the first time I was 15 years old and Frank was 14 years old, and we were about to play varsity football, and he's sitting in the locker room, and Frank had dreads back then, so he's literally just sitting there twisting his dreads, and he's not saying anything. He's just kind of looking around. And I'll never forget this, because we had a running back already, and he was talking about how he's going to rush for 1,000 yards and all this. And then Frank, he's just sitting there just looking at him, twisting his dreads. And then all of a sudden we get out to practice, and Frank is ripping it. When I mean ripping it, we were just like, whoa, like, who is this guy? We had no idea who this guy was. And when I say within not even a week, it had to be 3 practices, boom. He takes the starting running back spot, and, it's all she wrote from there. And, I always remember that our high school coach did a great job of making us always do ones versus ones. So anytime we did pass blocking drills, blitz drills, remember hamburger drills, all those things back in the day, the old school football, it was me versus Frank, me versus Frank all the time. So that really made us learn how to practice, because he was so competitive. He didn't want me to win. Of course, I never let him win. And since I'm on national TV, I'm going to tell everybody, Frank never beat me, ever. I always beat Frank all the time. So he's gonna have to figure out how to defend himself now, but I always beat Frank all the time. But, on a serious note, he was extremely competitive and took great care of his body. The athleticism, you see it's there. The athleticism has always been there. And I told people when I was going to I said, hey, there's this guy. He's a senior now in high school. I played with him. I'm telling you, he's pretty salty. Like, no, we got Willis, we got Portis, we got everybody, blah, blah, blah. We're good. I said, okay. And then sure enough, he comes in freshman year, boom, rips it up. He goes to second team just like that. And, I mean, look, the story, you see what he's done. Benjamin Button, he hasn't stopped playing ball yet.
Sounds like we got to get Benjamin Button on the show to tell his side of the story on those drills, JV. But let's keep talking Canes, all right? You were part of the legendary 04 draft class in Miami. You guys set the record. 6 first-rounders from the same school, the first one off the board being the legendary Sean Taylor. Now, LSU came close this year. Bama did a few years ago, but your record with the U still stands. Now, John, those programs, they've been chirping a little bit. They're saying, we produce the best NFL talent. We are the factory. Tell us why. Tell the world why that crown still makes it all about the U.
That's a good one. Okay, so, man, how should I put this? When you talk about legendary and producing talent, we don't have too many busts. So let's look at some of the guys if we want to start naming names. Ray Lewis, he was kind of good. Ed Reed, he was kind of good. Warren Sapp, I mean, he was all right. Jeremy Shockey, Clinton Portis. I mean, when we start ripping off names,